you very much. Drew, if you could please pronounce your last name for me.
It's Leung.
Leon. Thank you very much. Proceed when ready.
Thank you. Uh, Thank you, members of the California State Assembly, for having me here today. My name is Andrew Drew Leung, and I'm a concept designer for the last 15 years, who started in the industry over 25 years ago in visual effects and animation. I'm one of the many craftspeople and working artists in the entertainment industry that has helped drive a significant portion of the economy in California. Some of the films I've worked on more recently include Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, La La Land, The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and Mulan. I want to make abundantly clear, though, that while I am not representing IATSE Local 800 Art Directors Guild today, I am a proud rank-and-file union member of the Guild. I'm absolutely grateful for the long career I've had, and I absolutely love my job, as it has allowed me to have a modest home and raise my family and two beautiful children. The following is a select example of some of the work I've done and how it ends up influencing what gets built and goes on the screen. As you can see on the slide right here is some of my early concept work I have done for the first film, Black Panther. A lot of this is I'm using all sorts of stuff from painting to animation to get this done. My very background allows me to do this. The next slide, if you go next, will show you what it actually looks like on the final. So this is what actually ended up in the film. This is the first sequence from the movie Black Panther.
You did that? You did that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, bro. I'm sorry. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So you get an idea. You can see how, just from my work, how it actually influences the rest of the film. You don't have to follow it exactly, but it gives the production a good idea of how what gets made. A lot of what I do, most of it can end up on the cutting room floor, but a lot of it makes it through, and you can see how it connects. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I also was brought back for the following film for Wakanda Forever. I designed a lot of Shuri's lab, etc. And this is where we're going into her actual lab. Apologize, the video is playing a little bit slow. Anyways, let's go ahead and stop the slide. Thank you very much. One of the reasons why I've had such a long career is because I've always been at the forefront of technology and adapting to new tools that would not only speed up my process, but also allow me to break new boundaries in design that wasn't previously possible. Additionally, I am good at my job, not only because of the technology and tools I use, but because no matter what it is that I'm working on, I put my heart and my soul into it. I remember it was while I was painting Mowgli, the young Indian boy who befriends Baloo in Jungle Book, that I decided that I wanted to propose to my wife and start a family. I remember it was when I was figuring out how Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power would scale the ice wall. It was when my wife had suddenly called me to the hospital for the arrival of my newborn son. A little over a year later, it was when I came up with the idea for the self-sustaining air bubble that would be controlled by Namor for the movie Wakanda Forever, that my wife would have her contractions, and shortly an hour later, I would be at the hospital again during COVID pandemic while my daughter decided to arrive just a little ahead of schedule. We make the best movies in California and consequently the world, because every one of my fellow union brothers and sisters put it all out there, laid bare on the silver screen. But never before in human history until the last several years has that very technology I'm using is now stealing my very own work, my heart and my soul, by scraping what I've done and regurgitating it back as cheap, poor imitation of what tech companies now sell as a product called AI, artificial intelligence. Never mind the fact that these companies have absolutely no knowledge on how the creative process in my field actually works. These companies are openly robbing hardworking, tax-paying Californians of their livelihood and relabeling it as a poor excuse for innovation. This is the greatest heist in the history of human intellect, and we are welcoming it by wasting it with billions of dollars in funding. To add further insult to injury, we are being told that this is inevitable and that we need to retool and retrain. But we have already retooled and retrained. Every one of my peers, including myself, know how to use it. If you can order a sandwich, you can use AI. If you can Google yourself, you can use AI. If you can string together consonant, vowel, consonant words, you know AI. And even if the answer is to take a different career path, name a single career right now where there isn't a lobbyist or a tech company that's actively trying to ruin it with AI. We are adapting and we are still dying. That being said, the decision of whether or not me and my fellow artists are working is not whether or not we are or we aren't using AI, but instead made by the producers and the managers who are actually controlling the hiring. There was a survey conducted by Civil Economics, commissioned by Concept Art Academy, the Nat Animation Guild, and quite a few other industry associations at the end of last year. Over 300 C-suite leaders, senior executives, and mid-level managers across 6 industries in the entertainment sector were given the opportunity to provide their input. 75% of survey respondents indicated that generative AI tools had supported the elimination of jobs in their business. Already, on the last project I just finished, they consciously decided not to hire a costume concept artist, not hire, but instead intentionally have the main actress's costume designed by AI. On another previous show, my time on the project ended sooner than I would have liked when the manager decided to have an entry-level assistant who was working at a fraction of my salary use AI. Mind you, this is a salary that has allowed me to be a homeowner in the city of Los Angeles. Now, even though I know how to use AI and can in fact build my own model needed, the decision was purely done to replace my job with a low-skilled and low-paid worker. The idea that AI would create new jobs is a complete lie and an utter myth. In the same study last year by Civil Economics, California faces a potential elimination of nearly 62,000 jobs by 2026. Unfortunately, we don't need projections when we have actual facts. Recently, as reported by my union, Local 800 Art Directors Guild Union alone, they are facing a 75% job loss this year of their approximate 3,000 members. Never mind that actual strikes have been over for 6 months. It's so bad they have actually canceled their highly sought-after apprenticeship program this year that would help them create the next generation of film craftspeople, citing, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they can no longer in good conscience provide a training for a job that may cease to exist. And that is only because those people are lucky enough to be in a union that keeps track of its employment numbers. There are many more untold Californians who are not as lucky, who are facing even worse job prospects. Did I mention that I'm also a lecturer at UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, in the Theater, Film, and Television program? I literally last year had students tell me they are quitting the department because they don't see a future anymore. We are actively losing the next generation of hardworking Californians to machines. Machines, if it wasn't clear enough by now, that don't pay taxes. I hope that some of you who have college-aged children have better luck than some of my former students. A bot to replace creativity and dreams was never a tool any of us had ever asked for. It was never a problem any of us had ever asked to be solved. If this is innovation, and by adapting they mean get used to living in a car without a home, then this is not innovation at all, but a decimation of humanity itself and the complete annihilation of the great American dream. I would like to thank all the members of the California State Assembly here today. I hope you all can act quickly and swiftly to stem this disaster. Unless everyone's ready to swallow the pill that is universal basic income, which, by the way, we will have absolutely no tax structure for in this scenario, a government that can no longer support its people due to a decimated population of working citizens, or figure out a way to incentivize utilizing California's most valuable resource, its working people, we are most certainly doomed. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, and appreciate you elevating heart and soul in the conversation, in your narrative. We have some of my colleagues who have just joined. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves because I think it's important.